when I was in school, a really good friend shared with me this quote. It's actually a BJ Palmer quote. And for those that don't know who that is, that's the developer of chiropractic. And he said that the ideal chiropractor would be a yogi. And I just was wondering if you could share about kind of your experience of yoga, if you think that's true, and what these presence practices bring into your practice of chiropractic.
So yoga at its heart is the study of consciousness, which is to say the study of, well, exactly what we were just talking about, like the how are yous. So like, how am I, which leads into like, who am I, which is perhaps like the epic question of our lifetime, like to know oneself, right? Like, who am I? Like, what is this body that I'm living in? And what is this thing that's like orchestrating my body? And then like, what is that other thing that's like kind of like narrating the thing in the body? And then like the other thing that's like observing the whole thing, right? So yoga is really the study of consciousness, and there's many ways to interface consciousness. We have our mental faculty, right? We have the physical body that through movement, like our body becomes animated, right? And we get to learn and discover how to use this thing, this container that we're inhabiting, right? So we have the mindscape, we have the bodyscape, and we have, you know, our, and there's nuances in both of those, right? Like within the body, we have all of our organs and how they work. And in the mindscape too, there's different ways to interface how the mind is appeased, I suppose. Like we can have intellectual conversations to access the, like the mind organ. So in chiropractic, we often like to call that the educated side of things, a side that likes to analyze and actively process and digest what's, you know, the world around us and our experiences. And then there's, so in yoga, that would be like, you know, the yogic scriptures that are teaching philosophies and such. And then there's another part of the mind that is relinquishing the organelle of the mind and dropping into just the experience of being, which is accessed through the meditation practices. So yoga is the study of consciousness, and there's different ways of interfacing consciousness because we have different ways that invoke and invite our experiences. I mean, in the body, we even have 5 different senses that give us feedback of our environment, right? Seeing, taste, smell, touch, and sound, right? In chiropractic, for me, it is very much the same thing. It is the, you know, we're doctors of the nervous system, but I use that in quotes because I really think, I think that we are really practitioners of how consciousness is expressing and manifesting through the nervous system, because consciousness is everything first and foremost. Everything is awareness, and awareness is expressed through movement. And when we're, you know, doing the chiropractic adjustment, we're connecting into a present time moment of how is the person today as they're showing up to be seen in their emotional state, in the emotional state of how their body's expressing their emotional state, and also the past physical experiences that have created the neuromuscular patterns that are expressing the posture the body is inhabiting in that moment. And when we, you know, invite the moment of the adjustment in, and we connect into the different layers of the body, whether it be the fascial layers, the muscular layers, maybe the CSF as it's expanding from a deep inside out point, or directly into the skeletal system, or maybe even connecting at the life force system. When we are connecting into the part of the body that is holding the tension or the fixation, we are allowing the consciousness to become aware of an area that has been not able to be received for some reason until, like, well, the light of the awareness, meaning the outside touch, to light it up, to let the brain start to register what's going on in that spot.